what we have in the university at the moment is an innovation project under another European program. It's not under FP7, it's not under Horizon 2020, under lifelong learning, but it's specifically about university industry engagement. And so I thought this was quite a good opportunity, especially it's in the area of environment and energy. So I thought it would be a great opportunity for you to meet some of the partners on this project, maybe to learn a little bit about the project. So before I invite the people who are up here, they're still nervously sitting, hoping I'm not going to invite them onto the stage. But before I do so, I'm just going to give you a very quick overview of what the GADGET project is. It's a 2-year project, and it's running from last October until next September. And it's between 3 regions, and each region has 3 types of partners. So it's the University of Alicante in Spain, and I'm going to try and pronounce this properly, Johanneum in Austria, probably terribly pronounced, and ourselves, Glasgow Caledonian University. And then we have partners who are intermediaries. So we've got Fundeun, which is a foundation for university industrial engagement. We have the Startup and Service Centre, the Furstenfeld, and we have the Scottish Chambers of Commerce. And then we've also brought within the project as direct SME experience IDASA Sistemas, SAL, Rosenthal Maschinen, my Austrian pronunciation is absolutely, and Apple Green Homes is with us. So what are the objectives? The idea is that within the 3 partner countries that we set up a pilot action and really look at how the universities can help serve the industrial needs to ensure better quality training and exploitation of results in terms of research in energy and environment. So specifically, we want to first, we've been, over the last year, been looking at what the research and training needs are within the industry. And then to match these market needs with what we're doing within our curriculums, and to gather and have a look at the best practice between knowledge transfer, innovation, and university industrial partnerships. And finally, in the coming year, what we're doing is we're going to design and implement a series of working schemes to help internships, to help university industrial collaboration, to enhance curriculums, and to enhance communications. So the method is quite simple and quite logical. The idea is to identify the needs first, to do a benchmarking, and to have a look at the demand versus supply. Then to implement this, the various measures and initiatives that we've identified. And then finally, to exploit it and to measure how successful the initiatives we've been putting in place have been. And within that, there's quality control of the project, also management of the project. So the idea is that we have these target groups. On the one hand, we have the European HEIs, and the other, the industrial actors, and also, to a lesser extent, the policy makers. And that we really focus on what impact the project will have in terms of giving partners capacity to multiply the effects of collaboration with universities and industry, and to really underline the core message of the project, that we need to identify how we can work better together and how we can help policymakers deliver innovation on a larger scale. So within that, we're hoping for greater cohesion with the universities and the companies, enhance employability of within our regions, especially for our graduates, to retrain our staff, because I think it's a fundamental area within universities that a lot of staff are not preparing their graduates for the real world, and to really try and develop some collaborative ventures between ourselves, the universities, and in this industry. And so really we want to try and work out if there's a way that we can create some initiatives, and then that these can be transferable to other regions, but also to other sectors, because in this we're focusing on the energy and environmental sectors, and to try and see if we can develop tangible changes within our regions and take on and enhance this triple helix approach. So that's my general spiel about the project, and now I'm going to invite the partners from I almost said Germany, I suddenly realised there weren't any, Austria and Spain. Could you come up to the front here, please? And also the Scottish partners, if you fancy it, although probably people might not be so keen to ask you questions. But I will invite you up here, just so we have a core of people. If you can stand in the front and look pretty for a minute. I'm very cruel to them. They only kind of were told all about this quite recently, and they're having to stand here and be analysed. Because of technical reasons, I've also been asked to try and keep people around the microphone, so logistically it's even more difficult. What I'd like to do, with your permission, is to ask a few questions of our various partners, and really to try and identify what's happening in their region, and maybe to identify certain areas that you might be interested in talking to them about further during the lunch break. So what I'm going to ask is, let's start with the Spanish contingent. So Michelle and Raquel, if you could just come a little closer to me. I feel like I'm some games host or something like that. It's terrible. Could you just start off by telling me both where you're from, what you're representing, not just within this project, but in your normal day-to-day lives? And if you can speak very loudly, you're being broadcast all around Scotland and the world. So,
hello, I'm Raquel. I'm Enterprise and University of Alicante. It's a non-profit making organization. The principal aim is to establish relations between university and companies. Fundeum is composed by 94 companies, entities, all industries and service sector of the province. Textile, chemistry, energy, there are food, there are a lot of sectors in the province. And our main objectives are research transfer, business advice to enterprises in the field of research, promotion and support of startups and spin-off in the university, quality employment for university students and graduates, postgraduate training, and training for professional development. All activities are focused on 3 areas: innovation or research, entrepreneurs, and professional training. And we have several experience in projects, European and South America. I would like to continue with this area and present a lot of projects. If you want any question.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Michelle?
Yep, okay, so good morning, good afternoon, don't even know what time it is, but my name is Michelle Brindle. I'm from the University of Alicante. I'm the Deputy Director of the International Project Management Office. So I'll just give you a very brief description of our university. It's a fairly young university in relative terms. It's formed in 1979. Considered one of the most innovative universities in Spain. We have quite a strong focus on research, particularly more recently because of the national strategies are going very much in that direction, so the university is going that way as well. We have around 33,000 students, around 2,500 professors and researchers. And well, as I said, it's considered one of the sort of most dynamic universities in Spain at the moment. I work specifically for the International Project Management Office. We're a self-financing part of the university, so we don't actually work under the university budget, but we are a part of the university community. We have 17 members of staff, and we work mainly on projects related to university management. So we're talking about research management, financial management, but we also, we're the contact point for the university community in terms of research projects such as those which will be falling under the Horizon 2020. So we assist the researchers to gain those projects. We've got the proposal writing expertise, the management expertise, budgetary expertise, and so it's actually a target of ours for the coming years is to increase the participation in kind of research projects, because it's actually, so far it's been, I'm going to speak very sincerely, it's been a weakness of ours. We need to increase the research. So it's something that in Horizon 2020 we will be working very much on increasing that participation. So just to summarize as well, we have projects in, I think at the last count, we've worked in 105 countries all over the world. We have, in the history of the office, since 2003, more or less, we've had 115 projects, all financed by the European Commission, of which around 50 of those were as coordinator, the rest as partners, so it's quite a good success rate. And we offer not only project management, but also consultancy services, particularly in the field of project proposal drafting and training for companies and other universities in terms of project management. So I think that's about it.
Thank you very much, Michelle. I mean, if anybody has any experience of international projects, they know those statistics of coordinating 50 projects and having how many projects?
150.
150 today is extraordinary, and being self-financed by that is an incredible record. I'm sure you understand that if you're interested in setting up a European project, the most crucial part of that project is finding consortium members who have complementary experience. And if you're a university, you should be looking for partners in other countries who aren't universities, maybe. And if you're an SME, it's very useful to have partners in other countries which are universities. And without being too much of an advertisement for Alicante, their experience in European projects makes them a very good partner in a variety of areas. Just before I let you two go, I'm sure I'll come back again. In terms of technologies, needs within Alicante, especially in the construction, environment, energy areas, what would you say are the most prevalent?
There are a lot of research groups working in this area. Overall efficiency, efficiency energy and renewable energies. There are architectural department, and they are working in a specific line in efficient energy in buildings.
And sustainable architecture.
Sustainable architecture.
Okay. That's actually a priority area for the university itself. We've just set up a vice-chancellorship for sustainable campus. So it's something that the university itself is very interested in as well. So.
And I expect that you don't have the same weather as we have.
No.
So does that mean that the kind of technologies you're looking at, like solar energy, wind energy, what are the main technologies? Is it solar?
Predominantly solar, I think. Yeah. Solar. And well, I know that at university we have a biomass, right? We have a biomass.
There's photobioreactors and microalgae. Yes.
Microalgae?
Yeah. This is
I'll talk to you later about that. I know somebody might be interested in that. No, I shouldn't be doing this. Okay. So, thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Shall we go and sit down?
Thank you.
Don't go too far, Michelle.
Oh, no.
Lisa, would you like to come here? Unfortunately, both the SME and the intermediary, I think, fell ill at the weekend. So poor Lisa is representing all three entities on her own. So could you pretend to be three people and introduce yourselves?
I'm trying. So, hello, my name is Lisa Mahajan. I'm from the FHU Neum, University of Applied Sciences in Austria. Specifically, I'm from the Institute of International Management, which I'm mentioning because each institute has its own research center. So we are also self-funded and we work independently. If we are working on specific topics, then we get the input from our external teachers or other departments, but usually we really work independently. And in our, we are very focused on EU projects. So in the past 10 years of our existence, we have conducted about 50 projects, not quite as successfully as Alicante, but we're trying. And we are 8 people who all have different specialties. So we work on entrepreneurship projects, we have cross-cultural management expertise, we also do internationalization for SMEs. So everyone has his own expertise and is trying to put this expertise in as many different project areas as we can. So we're working on lifelong learning projects, on third country projects like Tempus or EU Alpha. And unfortunately, FP7, we don't have that much experience, but we really want to get into Horizon 2020 and open up this new field for us.
Could you, this is very unfair of you because I know you represent the university,
Yeah.
but could you tell me a little bit about the 2 other entities that you're representing, at least what they do?
Okay, our SME is engineering company, so they make the, okay, that's going to be very difficult in English, all the electricity lines that run and the parts for the electricity lines, and they're very much also into to make it more energy efficient, and they are working also all over the world, mainly in Saudi Arabia and Asia. And the other organization is a startup center that helps in the region young entrepreneurs and SMEs to, from the business plan to starting the idea to implementing it. They run trainings, they have courses, they help with everything until the business is actually established.
Thank you. And Lisa, could you give us some kind of idea about within your university or within the region, what kind of technologies are particularly prevalent and where the university might have its strengths in terms of research?
Our personal competence is not so much on energy and environment, but it has come up lately that it's very much an energy saving and waste management. These things are, we can see from the SMEs that we talk to, that to be competitive globally, that they really need to stock up on these things. So we are trying to help them in the internationalization with the expertise that we have to make them more energy efficient.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lisa. Before I open it to the floor, I can only be polite and if Alan or Fiona would like to say a few words.
I'll be very brief. Thank you. I'm Fiona McCann, the Operations Director of the Scottish Chamber of Commerce. To those of you who aren't aware, the Scottish Chamber of Commerce is an umbrella organisation for the 22 local chambers of commerce across Scotland. It's a membership organisation. The local chambers are membership organisations, and their members equate to about 10,000 businesses in Scotland, the vast majority of which are SMEs. As we know, the number of SMEs, or the percentage of SMEs in Scotland's businesses is in the high 90%. What we do as a Chamber of Commerce and as a network is we represent the voice of business at a local level, a political level and a national level. At Scottish Chamber of Commerce, we represent businesses nationally, or the voice of business nationally. We also provide some support services for business, and we're also very strong in providing connectivity for businesses, whether that's locally or nationally. Where this fits into Horizon 2020, looking at the objectives, understanding the objectives of Horizon 2020, one of the key aspects is providing support for SMEs within the programme or within the suite of programmes, and also in creating partnerships. And I'm just here to say that the Scottish Chamber of Commerce and the network will be looking at how we can add value to Horizon 2020 within the Scottish community, and if we feel we can, We will then be putting information out through our local chambers as how we can support SMEs in this arena. So as far as I'm concerned, on Horizon 2020 with the chambers, it's a watch this space, but we will be putting something out if and only if we think we can add value to the work that the SMEs in Scotland are going to start to be involved in. Thank you.
Alan's a man of few words. I just wanted to add very quickly that, as I said, one of the purposes of the project is to help university industrial engagement. And one of the things we're hoping to do, which we're talking about and we'll be working on this afternoon, is the question of how we can engage internationally and how we can offer you a service from the project about communicating with SMEs within the partner regions. I have all your contact details, so we'll be informing you at a later date. Right, I just wanted to give, you will have the opportunity to meet people and these guys and talk to them during the break. I just want to open the floor if anybody's got any specific questions now. Before, I know there's some questions come in via the web, but before that, is there anybody here who would like to ask a question of our partners? Yes.
Yeah, the University of Alicante, 50 projects that show the project coordinator.
Well, I mean, we've had 50.
50 over 3 months, 3, 4 times.
Yeah, it's.
What's the success rate in the number of projects funded compared to the number of submitted?
It very much varies on the program. You know, the actual funding program. I mean, we just recently we had a 100% success rate in one of the programs. You know, we presented 6 proposals and the 6 were financed. So, and then we've had others where maybe we presented 3 and none of them were financed. So you know, it's very variable. But I would say in general, if I had to put a figure on it, probably 60%, 65, something like that. Estimated. So it's you know, but as I said, it is very variable on the program.
And in Horizon 2020 or FP7,
the success rate in FP7, I mean, it's not it's significantly less than other programs. Like more of the corporation type programs, we have a higher success rate. So that's why I said that in Horizon 2020 we really need to start trying. But we have a series, I think like a lot of universities, we have a number of constraints, and unfortunately one of our main constraints is languages. I mean, our research staff are not necessarily don't have great competence in English language or whatever. So I mean they have the research knowledge, they have all of the quality, but they can't get the idea across within projects or conferences. So that's something that the university wants to work on as well, to try and strengthen the capacities in that sense. So.
As you can see, Michelle really struggles with English herself. Any more questions? Yes, the back there.
You got involved in that international plan.
Thank you. I'm glad. Somebody.
I think for myself, Apple Green wanted to build almost like a global brand, but to do that from the beginning, we tied ourselves in with a university, which was Glasgow Caledonian, and we're now also part of the ETP project. And we've built a show house at the BRE Innovation Park, and following the success from that, we're building on the Green Building Park in Beijing, which is the largest innovation park in the world. And we're working with Vanke out there and some universities in China. And then we've also just signed up recently for the Innovation Park in Portland in Oregon. And we're working with universities there. And the parks and working with the universities give us a fantastic launch pad into countries and a bit of credibility as well. So I think that's why, for us, working with universities both here and abroad is excellent for our product, and it's a way of sort of launching around the world, basically. So that's why we've done it.
Thank you. There was a question on the web.
Yes, a question from an academic at Harriet Watt University. What was the role of intermediaries in the project?
In this project?
Yes.
Okay. I'm thinking of passing along to an intermediary, Raquel, but Fiona unfortunately had to dash, but I can say that for us it was, and we've been talking this as part of our project, is analysing the situation and trying to work out the effectiveness of intermediaries at being able to link their SMEs with the universities. One thing we found almost across the board in all three countries, SMEs were asked what were the reasons why they didn't engage with universities, and they all said, because we don't know what they've got to offer. And so for us, I think the intermediary is absolutely crucial in translating what the university has to offer and getting it out there to the SMEs, as well as the university's responsibility to get out there and the SME's responsibility to come into the university. But we felt that there was a need for an intermediary and an effective intermediary, because we have been quite critical within our private four walls of how some intermediaries work in bring the two together. Raquel, I don't know if you have anything? Perfect.
No, yes, and we have a lot of experience in contact to enterprises, and we know the real needs and weakness of enterprises.
I think this is the thing, is identifying the real needs of businesses and to be able to service those needs. Absolutely.
I mean, I think if you want to give a sort of practical example, I mean, at the University of Alicante we have Fundeum, and they are, as Raquel already mentioned, a non-profit foundation, and I think without their work we don't have the context and we don't have this knowledge that has been mentioned. You know, we have the research groups, but we don't know perhaps what the local businesses actually want to get out of the research. So we don't have that contact. I think
we have the capacity to connect the need and the solution.
Yeah, absolutely. Luca.
Just a question for Michelle. What impressed by the number of projects, obviously, is an interesting success rate. Wondering whether you are also doing some impact assessment analysis. So if you're monitoring what's happening to the project after the funding phase, does it have an impact on the local economy? What international connections are there that were there before? So if you're also monitoring this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we, as I said, we have worked a lot on the passive university management, but our main focus, it's moved a little bit over the past couple of years, but for the first years of the office, we were very much centered on university management and things like building international relations or building a research management office. So the impact assessment was more about how it improved the situation of those universities, and particularly we were dealing with universities in third countries, so Thailand or Ghana or those kind of countries. So the impact is quite visible, because we built the international office, they started to receive their students or whatever. So in that sense, yes. Then something like GADGET, I think assessing the impact of that is going to be quite a challenge, I think, but we have to build that in the last phase of the project. What we usually do with the projects is the last phase we build in either some kind of business plan or some kind of sustainability plan. So we aim to keep things going after the financing. So we'll talk about how, if we build any kind of structures, networks, how they will finance themselves after, whether it would be via membership fees or whatever. It is always a challenge in any kind of project like this, because you have all of these hundreds of thousands of euros and then suddenly nothing. So we do try to build in sustainability towards the end of the project.
I think it's worth mentioning as well that these 150 projects, as Michelle intimated, are very often in countries outside Europe. And as you know, Horizon 2020, one of the priorities within Horizon 2020 is to include within the consortia members from other countries outside Europe, and particularly the ICPC countries that are less developed, let's say. And of course, one of the great things that Alicante have done is they've now got a whole battery of very, very well established partners internationally, which makes that step all this. Easier.
115.
115.
Don't want to sound like more than we are.
I feel that I'm promoting Alicante more than Glasgow Caledonian, which is a big mistake. Any more questions from the floor or from the web?
Me, I would like to participate.
I'm sorry, somehow Gabriel got lost. He's the SME from Spain, so I shall give him the floor.
Yes, hi. My name is Gabriel. I'm representing our company, IDASA. Our company produces basically robots, and information services. So one of our branches is software. So we have our company is IDASA Sistemas. We produce a software for facility management. And this software is focused on, as I told you, on facility management, but energy management and other things involving companies nowadays. So now companies are trying to save money, and using such CIMF software will help companies a lot. We are now trying. Well, we have been working in the market for 25 years, and now we are expanding our company to the GCC countries, to the Gulf Community countries, and America and many other countries. And we are getting benefits of this project because we also use people from the university to come to work with us as students. As you know, as time passes by, technology is increasing, developing every time. Every day is different. So if we are not actualized, we are not in the right now technology, we cannot sleep hours, So we must develop every day. So one way for develop our software is introducing people from the university coming to work with us, even as students. We learn from them, they learn from us, and this is a very contributive way to work with the university. And that's the way we use it. That's why we use the project, and that's it. Any question?
Gabriel, I just have one question. Okay. Do you have you any experience in FP7 projects?
Sorry?
In European projects?
No, only with this one.
With this one, lifelong learning. So you have an FP7 virgin who's waiting to collaborate with you guys. Okay, I think I'm just about running out of time now. Are there any more questions from the floor before we finish, finally? Thank you very much, and please do take the opportunity during lunch.